Mississippi State home run hire. Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football, breaking down the game we love each and every day, even in the offseason, 24/7, 365. If you have yet to check out the videos and you love college football, this is your place to be, so please do. Then like, comment, share the videos, and subscribe. Mike Leach leaving Washington State to go to Mississippi State of the SEC, and that's exactly one of the reasons why he said he left Pullman for Starkville. He wanted the challenge of coaching in the SEC. He also wanted the challenge and the opportunity of recruiting what he considers to be the best athletes in the country, and also believes that Mississippi State is committed to winning. He also mentioned the coaches in the SEC being the very best, specifically named Ed Orgeron and Nick Saban by name in the SEC Western Division, and of course, not discarding the Pac-12, he had to mention that top-flight coaches are found there in the Pac-12 as well. He said he actually would rather face crummy coaches. So that's why Leach chose Mississippi State. He can recruit the best. He can face the best, both on the sideline and on the field. And he mentioned this as being possibly the last chapter in his career. For Mississippi State Athletic Director John Cohen, he says that Mike Leach is a disciplinarian, and that's one of the reasons why he was a main drawing card. And that might be a bit of a surprise, something that we don't typically know about Mike Leach, disciplinarian. But considering some of the mishaps and missteps by Joe Moorhead over the last two seasons at Mississippi State, Cohen emphasized Leach the disciplinarian. Also, we know more in this category and certainly are familiar with Mike Leach, the brilliant tactician, as Cohen mentioned during the news conference today. And also, thirdly, and most importantly, as Cohen said, Mike Leach is a proven winner. Check out these numbers. At Texas Tech, Mike Leach went 84-43. That's a 66% winning percentage. The coaches during the 10 seasons prior to his 10 seasons went 62-53. They won less than 54% to Leach's 66%. And then since Leach left, Cliff Kingsbury and now Matt Wells have only won 48% of their games after Leach winning 63% or 66% of his games and finishing in the top 25. Get this, at Texas Tech. Think of Texas Tech right now. What kind of a lift it would take for Texas Tech to finish in the top 25 5 of 6 years. And that is Leach's tenure to close it out. 5 of his last 6 Texas Tech teams finished in the top 25. At Washington State, Mike Leach finished his 8 years at 55-47. That's a winning percentage at 55% practically. Before Mike Leach made it to Washington State in the previous 8 seasons, Washington State head coaches won 29 of 95 games. Only 30% of their games. And then Leach comes in and wins 54% of his games. And his most successful season in 2018, taking the Cougars to an 11-2 record and a top 10 finish. What should Mississippi State fans expect out of Mike Leach? Dan Mullen, who's now tearing it up at Florida through 2 seasons, went 69-46. That's a winning percentage of exactly 60%. 33-39 in the SEC at 45.8%. And he fared better during the second half of his tenure than he did the first half of his tenure in Starkville. So Dan Mullen at 60%, and then Joe Moorhead going 14-12 these 2 seasons at Mississippi State, 8-5, followed by 6-7. With Lane Kiffin being hired by Ole Miss and causing a stir, and obviously that's a name, he's a personality, he's a media magnet. Nick Saban, Ed Orgeron. Of course, Saban is Saban, the gold standard in college football history to some degree. And Orgeron, of course, taking LSU to the SEC championship and now on the brink of a national championship. Gus Malzahn at Auburn has had success in getting the Tigers to the BCS championship game in 2013. Jimbo Fisher has won a national championship and now goes to Texas A&M and makes $1 zillion. Arkansas, starting over, of course, would be the one team that doesn't have that kind of draw. But otherwise, Mississippi State needed to make a splash, and they made a safe splash. Mike Leach says a lot of questionable things, but they're not harmful things for the most part. Even in this politically sensitive, hypersensitive culture and world, Mike Leach knows where to stop. He knows where to draw the line, and he knows that the microscope on him is going to be a little bit more intense at Mississippi State, and certainly winning cures just about all. And I expect Mike Leach to do that in the Dan Mullen range. 8-4, 7-5 should be generally the bar at Mississippi State. And if Mike Leach can cycle through that talent and grab the pitchers and catchers that he needs in that offense that threw the ball more than any team in the nation, as is their MO this past season, 710 pass attempts. That was almost 100 more than anybody else. They ran it just 210 times. That was just about 100 times less than anyone in the nation. I don't know that Mike Leach is going to be that extreme pass-run ratio in the SEC, but we shall see. Maybe he's going to go full throttle and bring his style of offense. Certainly he's going to bring the style of offense, but in regards to run-pass ratio, we'll see if he keeps up that extreme at Mississippi State, as he led Washington State to just 6 wins this past season with a bowl loss to Air Force at 6-7. But the most prolific passing offense in the nation, again, with 710 pass attempts, leading the nation in passing yardage per game at 437. Mike Leach has won significantly more and more often than his predecessors and his successors at Texas Tech and now at Washington State. Will he do the same at Mississippi State? Would love to get your thoughts down in the comment section below. Right here at Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football.